Just what I wanted. How do you know?
How's everything?
People, everything's fine. How's everything with you? Nice to see you. How are the folks? Who is this man? What a disturbed group here tonight. Holiday season is here. Did you ever notice every Christmas what people always say? That's just what I've always wanted. And you know, half the time on Christmas Day, they're lying through their teeth. Absolutely. Oh, just what I wanted, Uncle Waldo. Cheese on a rope. Guess I get hungry in the shower. It looks like Rubik's suit. I get in a holiday mood. I do. I'm sentimental, and about this time of... Underneath this exterior is a sentimental core. Yes, and it's rotten. No, around the holidays, my memory harks back. I do a lot of harking during the holiday. Harks back to my youth on the plains of Nebraska. Around the holidays, it was... Well, we were kind of poor, and we couldn't afford mistletoe. I had to kiss my girl under the poison ivy. At least that's how I explained the rash to my mother. We were so poor, we didn't even have a Christmas tree. I had to toss tinsel onto a tumbleweed. There was... How many of you have been watching all the Christmas specials on television? Have you had it yet? Well, about another 10 days of those. I saw Dean Martin's Christmas special the other night. Dean Martin's Christmas at SeaWorld. A tender, warm family special, and that was so successful, Dean's going to do another one. Dean Martin's Christmas at Ralph's Market. Dean is going to put on earmuffs and sing Christmas carols from the frozen food section. PBS, that's the educational channel. Have you seen their Christmas specials? They had Carl Sagan's Christmas special on Pluto last night. The special guests were the Frelb sisters from Moon Mylar 28. And Carl comes out and says, "Welcome to the best of billions and billions of Christmas specials." It was just last night I saw that. Oh, I have an announcement. Post office has not announced me. They've told me to announce to you. Sometimes I get my prepositions mixed. And my verbs sometimes are not in the right order, but it'll all come out fine. What was I talking about? Post office has asked me to tell you to save time, to speed things up. Make sure you mail your Christmas packages early, get the right zip code, and break your own packages before mailing. No. The mails are, the mails are a little slow at times. I got a Christmas card from President Reagan, but that's when he was president of the Screen Actors Guild. See, he one time was president of the Screen Actors Guild many years ago.
How many years ago?
Never mind that. People say that this year is Christmas shopping is depressed a little bit. The stores are not doing the business as they thought, and even a famous street like Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills, they say it's quiet down there. Have you been on Rodeo Drive? People from out of town? Should go down there, take a look. It's the most expensive street in the world. Only place I know in the world that the parking meters take Krugerrands. Those are gold coins. Big ones. But I've been shopping lately. I'll get cooking here. Everything can't be a hill. Sometimes we have hills and valleys. The electronic stuff. You cannot go into a toy store without everything is electronic nowadays. Everything's computerized. I gave one of my nephews a chess set, and he wanted to know where the remote control unit was to move the pieces. Actually, you don't have to use your... You do not have to use your imagination for anything anymore. Everything is electronic. For Christmas, my wife, Joanna, bought me Atari 4-Play. You made me think that somebody says, "Do I like it?" It's kind of like Space Invaders. There's a little thing I saw in a novelty shop today. Have you seen those little glass things you used to fill? Remember, I think they first came out years ago. The World's Fair, you'd turn them upside down. They have now one with the L.A. skyline. And you'd shake it, and it fills with soot. Very nice. Well, there's some interesting kind of warm pictures from Washington yesterday of the Reagans and their Christmas tree. He walked into the East Room of the White House where they had the Christmas tree and saw that there were only 2 branches left on the Christmas tree. And he says to Nancy, he said, what happened? And Nancy said, well, you asked David Stockman to trim the tree. So far, so bad. Did you hear that President Reagan temporarily lost his nuclear code card? No! During that unpleasantness back in Washington, he apparently for a while carries with him all the time a nuclear code card, which only the president has in case those are orders that he sends out on this little card, in case we have to get into a nuclear war. And it was missing for a while. Isn't that kind of scary? Turned out that Nancy had found the card and charged 3 gallons on it at Saks. That's not true either. I just made that up. Would you like to hear a little scientific news? It's kind of exciting.
Yes.
Thought you would. This was in the paper today. It's a little hard to believe. 2 scientists are in Africa searching for what has been reported a dinosaur. Now, how many of you saw that in the paper, heard about it? Not making it up. According to some pygmy warriors there, they have seen what they thought was a living dinosaur in uncharted Africa. They said it's about 35 feet long with a huge long neck, a big tail, and a little teeny head. They think it is a dinosaur, and they are investigating it. I think they should investigate what the pygmies have been smoking. Weird. You've seen those before, haven't you?
Yes, all right.
Long dinosaur.
Little tiny head.
Little tiny head. Tonight, we have for you tonight one of the brightest writers, most literate writers in the world today, Mr. Gore Vidal, is with us tonight, who is always fascinating. And with some more animals. One of them we almost lost earlier today. He's on his way here now, believe it or not, true story. Jim Fowler is here, who used to work with Marlon Perkins on Wild Kingdom. You could always tell the 2 apart. Jim was always the one doing the heavy-duty work. Marlon did the commercials for Mutual of Omaha, and they would cut to Marlon, and Marlon would say something like, while Jim is out in the Amazon River trying to giving the giant crocodile a vasectomy, I'll be back here in my tent fixing up this pitcher of stingers. Anyway, so Jim, and we lost this afternoon, he had a lizard, apparently. A 7-foot lizard, and they lost it. True story. They found, no, they'd not lost it here. They lost it out of the LAX, the airport. Apparently, they went out, they found the lizard. It is now in a limousine on the way to the studio. Now, can you... All I can picture is some wino standing on a corner. And this limo comes by with a 7-foot lizard looking out the window. That's it. Anyway, thank you for coming. We'll be back in a moment with all of those things more. Now seize the moment and give someone Revlon's beautiful new fragrance, Scoundrel. We'll be back. Thank you. We are back. Thank you, Doc. I have an album here I'd like to mention because it was put together by the assistant musical conductor, Sheldon Cohen, Shelley Cohen of The Tonight Show, called Christmas with Friends, featuring Ed McMahon. You do what 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, narrating it with Doc Severinsen and Tommy Newsom, and it's a very nice album, and Doc's trumpet solo and White Christmas.
It's beautiful.
If you're looking for some very nice Christmas music.
I'm very proud of that. It turned out very well.
Christmas with Friends.
I do a reading piece on there about the life of Christ, One Solitary Life. You know that piece? It's so beautiful.
Can you remember the whole night before Christmas?
No, you tried me that one night. Remember you tried that? I couldn't even get all the reindeer straight.
All right, let's see how many reindeer you remember.
Oh, not all.
Go ahead, come on, just start off.
On Dancer, on Prancer, on something,
Donder,
and
on
Donder and
Blitzen.
Blitzen. Vixen. That's about it.
Cupid.
Cupid.
And Murray.
Murray. We didn't talk too much about him.
Yeah. Anyway, that's called Christmas with Friends, and that's what it should be. Now, each year about this time, we have done this for, 15 years or something. We get some letters from the post office in New York, although we could probably get them from Los Angeles post office. And as you know, most post offices receive thousands of letters addressed to Santa Claus in care of the North Pole. And before we send these on to the North Pole, to Santa, we intercepted a few, and the post office passed them on to us. And I'd like to mention the New York Post Office has made letters like these available to anybody who would like to help out a child at Christmas. I'm going to give you the address first, and I'll give it to you later again. If you'd like a letter or wish to mail in a donation, the address to write is Santa Claus Fund. I think we got it right there. General Post Office Building, room 3023, New York Post Office, New York, New York, 10001. Or you can just send a donation to the Santa Claus Fund, the same address, General Post Office Building, room 3023. Or if you're in New York or any large city, you can probably drop by the post office, and they have special places where they keep these letters before they send them on to Santa, because, Santa gets busy, can't fulfill all the requests, kids. So in case you'd like to step in and help. Now, they sent us a sampling of the letters, and some of them are hysterically funny. And some of them are
very sad.
What we are here for. I'll read you some of these first. Dear Santa Claus, could I have 2 pairs of Sergio Valenti's? Kids now are so conscious that they give you the name. They don't say, give me some jeans, Sergio Valenti's. 2 shirts to go with the Sergio Valenti's. Baby Agatha and a pretty Carla, love. Last year, I think I saw you sitting on the sofa, and I thank you for giving me the kitchen set. You are like a grandfather to me. I love you so much because you're so good to me every Christmas. I love you so much, Santa Claus. I really do. I love you, Santa Claus. Veronica's taking no chances at all.
Some hearts at the
little
bottom.
Hearts at the bottom. Santa, Veronica's love runs deep, Santa. Here's Santa Claus. How do you feel lately? You must be tired because you have to make all them toys with your elves. So maybe you could take it easy this year and hire more elves to help you make the toys. That way you won't be that exhausted and you can rest more. Please bring me, and then there's a list. I think Santa put a freeze, didn't he, on the hiring of the elves?
Yes, he did,
because of the administration. Here's the letter. I'm not going to read you any last names, of course.
Look at that.
Well, I'm telling you. Dear Santa, I believe in you. Most of my friends don't. 2 of my friends do. I still like playing with baby things. Here are some things I want. Please try to give me all of it. If you don't, I will understand. And here is the list. My pretty pony, pretty curls, legs, land, Legos, snuff, land, smurf, slinkies, chimpanzee, skunk, turkey, giraffe, elephant, hippopotamus, rhinoceros, deer, ostrich, monkey, otter, dolphin. This goes on for 2, 3...
Up to 100 items.
That's right. Levi's, rubber boots, plant rope, sewing kit, light bulb, bush ladder, roof, boxing gloves, Mr. Rogers, paper cranes, Brooks, barn burner, Sammy Snake, Sesame Street, watch, Utah, hog zoo, keychain, Hawaii, Santa Claus suit, baboon, mouse, bow and arrow, warm whistle, cloud, sun, Cheerios. Sincerely, Becca. Lots more, but I'm too tired to write it. After reading this, Santa's going to be too tired to deliver all that. I mean,
That's very artistic.
No, kids are smart. They watch television advertising. Dear Santa, please, dear Santa Claus, please bring me the things that says Heather on this paper, and bring my father the things that say Father. And what Heather has done has cut out of the catalog all of the things that she wants. This one says Heather, 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 Heather. Heather's, Heather, 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 Heather. And over here on the side is Father.
Father.
One for Father. There's about 12 for Heather, 1 for Father. Cuts out the actual pictures of the thing. Saves time, you don't have to describe them. Dear Santa, some kids don't like you, but I do. Bring toys, and that makes me happy. Have a nice Christmas.
That's it. Right to the point.
Just starts off. Santa Claus, route number 1. I've forgotten. Yukon North Pole.
That'd be
route
right.
Number
route
one. He's
That'd be
rural.
right.
He's rural, isn't he? He's out, yes. Starts off. Bicycle, space Legos, microscopes, Star Wars toys, Domino So-and-so, and the name is signed Patrick So-and-so, revised.
Disregard earlier letter.
I think Patrick has a copy for his files, obviously, and that's the revised list. Aren't kids wonderful? Dear Santa Claus, I love you so. Could you please bring some pom-poms for Christmas? That's all she wants, pom-poms. But they do decorations and they do hearts and everything. Get well, Santa. Love, joy. That's all. Get well. Apparently, he's got Santa's x-rays or something there. I don't know. Ask for nothing, just get well. Okay, we'll come back. We got a few more, and then we'll read some of the ones that really, really are meaningful. Stay where you are. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. We have some, I'll read a couple of more of these. Dear Santa, I want to come and visit you next summer. Please send me any maps and pamphlets you have available. This comet's still tripping over the moon. Merry Christmas, love, Chris. And it's sent on a postcard from a bar. Dear Santa, I know I already wrote you a letter, but there are two things that I want for Christmas. I want winter boots, my size is 2, and 20 pounds of lasagna. And she won't be size 2 very long with 20 pounds of... Remember I mentioned we have on the show tonight a lizard? Dear Santa Claus, I want a lizard for Christmas with food. I suppose they mean one of those little...
Sure, yes.
The lady wants... Maybe we'll send him this one. Dear Santa, my name is Blaze Somfor. I have been good 70% of the time. Well, I'm sorry, Blaze. Santa's cutoff point is what? 71%.
71%.
70%. Anyway, those are some of the amusing letters. Of course, they get thousands more of letters that are... And we've done this every year, and they're almost difficult to read because most of these children usually write for their sisters or brothers or their mother and father, very seldom from themselves. And there's one from Crystal that says, would you please bring me and my sister some toys? Mommy is poor this year. Daddy is not living with us. We don't got a Christmas tree. My sisters are 5, and I am 8 years old. Dear Santa, my name is Marty. I would like a baby doll that talks. I would like to have some new socks. These are the things you get from kids who don't have. They want socks or they want gloves. Socks size 11.5. My mother's sick and can't work. And she won't be able to get me anything for Christmas. So if you can, love you, so forth and so on. I hope you can help my mommy this year because she was very sick. I am 12. My little brother, his name is Daniel. And then she goes on about her brothers and so forth and what they need. It's incredible, isn't it? That the children who really don't have anything very often are asking either for their brothers or the sisters or their mother and father. I've been pretty good all year, and I promise to keep on being good. My brother Tony's good, too. We've never had a Christmas tree because Mom says we don't have money. I saw a pretty one in a book. I would like to see a real one. Christmas tree is all the child wants. Dear Santa, I love you so much. I want some toys, but my mother's very poor, and my father died last year. I do good at school. I'm 8 years old. My name is so forth and so on. Anyway, these are the kind of letters, along with the amusing ones you get. And as I said before, Christmas really should be for the children. And if you'd like to be a part of that, it kind of gives you a good feeling. So that address again, if you look at your screen, is the Santa Claus Fund, General Post Office Building. There, it's all right there for you. Send a donation, or you can actually go to the post office, and they will be happy to give you a letter or two, and you can take care of it yourself and kind of fill in for Santa. So we thank the post office for sending these, and hope that those children have a nice Christmas.
Yes.
Okay.
Indeed.
Moving along. Have you written for Santa yet? What do you want for Christmas? Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention.
We should
see
mention this, yes.
We have a beautiful set here. As my producer just pointed out, he said that's a winter scene behind you. So, all right. Very pretty.
That's the Carson spread in the plains of Nebraska, isn't it, out there?
Yes, out there early in the morning, milking the cows.
I can see you out there.
And so forth. And all these lovely poinsettias.
Settias, yes.
I always said poinsettias.
Yeah.
And I got it wrong. Those are poinsettias. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. I mentioned, Jim Fowler is here tonight. Jim, as you know, Jim, I'm sure you'll recognize as the co-host of Wild Kingdom, which has, I think, been on about 20 years, and he also designs wild animal parks. Would you welcome Jim Fowler? Jim? Well, now...
Those eyes, Johnny. Will you see these eyes?
Normally, you come out with something I don't even recognize. Obviously, that's an owl.
Sounds like we have some bird lovers in the band.
Well, yes, I'm afraid we do. Yeah. That's just a nice little owl, isn't it?
Yeah, look at those eyes.
Isn't that something? He's a fantastic little animal. This is the gray phase of the screech owl.
That's the screech owl.
Yeah, and there are lots of superstitions about them, you know.
Yeah, those eyes are penetrating, aren't they?
Yeah.
Look at the way they look at you. They just...
Yeah.
I think he would sit on your hand quite well. You notice they have fairly sharp talons, but he hasn't.
He's very light.
He hasn't shown any tendency to go at people yet.
Now, do they live on little?
They have a variety of diets. They have a variety of diets. It's mainly meat. You know, they eat mice and insects. They also go after.
This is pretty good size, don't they?
Yeah, it's found in California. It's highly protected by law, so you can't have them as pets.
Right.
But this one is especially good. I'm going to see if I have a piece of meat that we can maybe give him.
You always have a lot of things in your pockets, Jim.
I know. It gets a little messy sometimes.
Did you ever go out at night formally when you've had meat in your pocket for a week or so?
Matter of fact,
yes.
Take that, and if you don't mind, that's just good chicken. And let's see if he'll take a piece of that. Put it right up in his beak. There you go.
There you go.
There you go. Good enough. That's fine. But the screech owl is fascinating. Small. It's the smallest of the birds of prey in America.
Oh, the reason we mention that because you have now the largest bird in the United States. Do you
exactly.
Not? And largest bird. A beautiful golden eagle. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to give you our friend here.
Back here.
And you're going to see
the golden eagle is really the difference between an owl and an eagle is obvious when you see it. This is obviously specialized for nighttime hunting. Right. The eagle is a very majestic creature. It's been used throughout the history of the world as the symbol to go to battle because it's very majestic and noble and all those good things.
And they see things, I understand, when they're in the air. They can see something on the ground from a mile in the air or something.
Yeah, a couple of miles they'll see a jackrabbit. And the eagle is a good contrast with this little guy.
Okay, that's a little screech owl. Now we're going to show you...
Now, in order to show the eagle, I'm going to have to get you to help me because this is a falconer's or a eagle trainer's bag.
Okay, what would you like me to do?
Over your shoulder.
Want me to come with you? Or?
Yeah, if you'll put that over, and so that the whistle is outside you. There you go.
All right.
Yeah, and there's a...
Okay, last call for eagles.
You want this here, Jim?
Yeah, leave that there. And there's a lure here. There we go. Tell you what, unfortunately, the eagle may be a little hungry, and this owl may be on his diet, so I'm going to hand this owl back to...
Good thinking.
You'll take that. I'll show you what to do that.
Right.
1 second.
Oh, my God. There's a lot of meat in there. I haven't the foggiest idea what I'm doing.
We're going to have the curtains up to do this properly. What I want to do is show the flight of this eagle. And you have obviously had so much experience with animals in the last 10 years or so that this is nothing for you to do this. So most guys couldn't do this.
Yeah,
but I think
sure.
What you have to do, this is a lure, which is a symbol for the eagle to come to. And if you'll swing that like that, right?
What am I wearing this for?
That's in case...
What is in here? What is in here?
In case you run out of meat. There's some more meat in there.
In case I run out of meat, there's...
More meat in there, that's right. But when you throw it down like so. I don't know. Okay? With the meat up.
Meat up.
I'm going to open a box. This is it's a rare, oh yeah, you've got to, by the way,
yes.
Don't mean to encumber you, but you have to whistle with that, too.
I have to whistle at the same time. Wait a minute, let me get this perfectly straight. I got to throw it so the meat is up. As soon as I see the eagle, I blow the whistle.
You blow the whistle?
Right. In case that's not enough meat, he's going to come over here.
There you
go. Jump eagle. Okay.
And I want to just tell you, this is quite a rare thing to see. An eagle that'll fly in this studio is like flying a falcon in a barn. You know what I mean? So anyway.
When do I throw this?
I'll tell you when to do it and whistle, and I'll open the box. And you'll see. Maybe another first. Okay. Now, when the eagle sees you, throw the lure twice, and then I'm going to open the box around your head. That's right.
Like this?
Right.
How do I know?
Okay. Now put it down. There you go. Pull it now. That's good. We'll put this down here. That's all right. Now put this down on the floor. There you go. Now pull that once again. I think she'll come over to it. Now hold it right there and blow the whistle once. Come on, gal. Okay, she's got it now. Now let's let her eat it for a minute.
Right.
And this is if you notice, let me pull her around.
You got her, Jim?
Excuse me for.
Certainly.
I'll get her around here so you can see her a little bit better.
Okay.
She will protect the meat if you try to.
If I try to what?
Take it away.
I'm not going to. No, she can protect that meat all night long.
No, I need a piece of meat out of your bag.
Here. Help yourself.
Yeah. The hell, it's empty.
It's empty.
I forgot.
You mean if she would have come here and I didn't have any meat anyway?
That's right. Boy, I tell you, no wonder. Now, as soon as she finishes this, I have to call her immediately back up the fist. We'll show you the. Oh, that's the lure gap. Oh, blow the whistle again. Come on. There you go.
Good.
Pretty good, huh?
That's a beautiful
Fantastic.
bird. Look at that.
Now, this is that's just a chicken match, same thing we use, but
it really is a magnificent looking bird.
Absolutely spectacular.
Look at that.
I meant to bring the other glove over because
That's
I want
okay.
you to
That's
feel
all right.
well, let me just show you what that happens here.
I'm out of meat anyway. Man, give me a meatless bag here. Sitting here with an empty bag, it wouldn't help much.
You better keep that bag on because she'll think you're the trainer if you keep that on.
All right.
If you will hold, I'll tell you what I'll do. I have one more piece of meat. Let me set her here on the thing here.
Now, when she get here, I ain't going to have anything for her to eat.
Well, I got one right here. The thing to do is be sure and hold the glove higher than your head. That's sort of like so. Right That's good. Excellent.
She's standing on the meat.
She's not very heavy, though.
She can't see the meat, Jim.
Oh, yeah. It's on the back.
She's standing on the meat.
Okay. Let me get her off. There you go.
Okay.
Anyway, that's another.
All right.
This is highly protected. This is one of the eagles that's disappearing in the world. And
There's no fear from me.
the California State Game and Fish are doing a lot of great work. They're buying up some land that are very important to
That
this
is
eagle's
truly
survival.
magnificent thing. We should not have a bird that beautiful die.
And this is trained by Steve Hoddy, who's one of the guys. This eagle cannot be put back in the wild.
Right.
So we're using it to show people a little bit
When
about
the
it.
wings come out, it's fascinating.
Right.
Thank you, Jim. That is beautiful. Okay. While we're waiting, Johnny, why don't we do that?
Do the commercial.
What the hell is this? Boys, I think things grow here. You just put a little water on them, and they just sprout right out of your desk. Okay, we have to do this, and we'll be right back. We promised you we had a 7-foot monitor lizard, and the lizard has not arrived yet in the limousine, so we probably won't see it. Either that or it ate the driver. We are not sure. But we do have something else for you, Jim. This I think you'll recognize.
We've got a little...
That's a baboon, right?
That's a baboon.
That's a baboon.
Yeah, this is a very, very nice pet little baboon. I think we're going to have to get some food for it. Do you have...
My bag is empty.
Here it is. Yeah. Let's see what he does with this.
All right.
Look at that, huh?
They're fairly... Baboons are intelligent.
I've got to... Yeah. I've got to...
And also very hungry.
Got to be a little quiet with this guy. He's not been on camera before, and he's going to be a little bit nervous. But I think we can. You might have that for him in a minute. Okay,
how big will he be when he's full grown?
Well, these weigh about 150 pounds when they're full grown. Come on up. Come on. You can make it up.
He's eating with his mouth full.
Come on up and see Johnny. That's right. See Johnny. Now, you may be not the banana. Anyway, these are extremely powerful, Johnny, when they're full grown.
That's a male, isn't it?
Yeah, it happens to be a male.
When you've been in the jungle as long as I have, my powers of perception immediately said that's a male. Yeah.
Yeah, he's never done that before. I don't know. There we go. There you go. Now you go.
He is a little excited, isn't he?
Anyway, I was supposed to tell you that these waited on tables in ancient Egypt.
Like that? Thank you, waiter. I'll have an order of...
This is the Hamadryas baboon. They're found in North Africa, and again, this is just a baby, an 8-month-old baby, and he's growing up fast. He'll be
growing up right here on the show.
We have a film.
You know,
we got a film on this, yeah.
We really wish we had more time, but we're getting behind time tonight, and I know you understand. So take him and give him a nice cold shower.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Okay, thank you, Jim. Okay, well, it can happen to the best of us. We'll do this first, and we'll be right back with Gore Vidal. Mr. Gore Vidal is here tonight, and Gore is one of the most literate writers and one of the most perceptive wits that I know. Would you welcome, please, Mr. Gore Vidal? Gore just said, what an act to follow.
I feel such an air of depression as I entered after all that excitement. Nobody told me that you wanted me to bring my lizard because it's on short notice, and my lizard has his own television program.
That's right.
It's called Firing Line.
Firing? You're starting already.
Starting already right from the top. Gosh, they're alarming, those animals.
Yeah. Hey, I want to thank you, first of all. Well, Joanna and I were in Italy this summer, and you were one of the best guides we've ever had in Rome and Ravenna. We had a great time.
Well, thank you.
Thanks a great deal to your knowledge and years you spent there. We enjoyed it thoroughly.
Well, you got very high marks as guests.
Yeah.
You and Joanna, my heavens, he was up at dawn with a blue guide looking at ruins.
We were.
That's after he got tired of looking at us in the house. He would go out and look at Pompeii.
No, it was a wonderful time, wonderful time. You mentioned depression. It very often happens during holiday seasons, and psychologists say, or psychiatrists, people should not feel guilty getting depressed around Christmas time. Lots of people do.
Oh, I think it's quite... yes, you remember Christmas past, Christmas future, as Charles Dickens would point out, is pretty grim. Yeah, I think there's an awful lot of suicides around Christmas time, probably. Much more, I think, around April, when the taxes are due. I think that's the time that I slash my wrist.
Just for the fun of it, I put down a list of names. And if it were in your power as Santa Claus this year to bring certain people certain things, I'm just going to throw you a name, and if you don't have anything for them, what would you bring, for example, the First Lady, Nancy Reagan?
Nancy Reagan. I almost said it like Ron. Nancy. Nancy's been a good girl this year. I'm going to give her Versailles. The whole palace. She can paint it red. You know, that her Nancy's red. And, of course, she has the Marie Antoinette Award for the year as well. That would be my gift for Nancy.
How about Jerry Brown?
Jerry Brown.
Governor of California. Governor of California.
An interesting book called It's a Long Way to Mount Rushmore, which is the Harold Stassen story.
Revisited.
Revisited. I think he should study that.
How about Muammar Gaddafi of Libya?
Gaddafi. Not wishing him well at the Yuletide season, I would give him the CIA. They cost us $10 billion a year. They are absolutely, whatever they touch is a mess. They are too expensive. I'd like Gaddafi to own the CIA. Just take Langley and send it to him. First, they will bankrupt Libya. Secondly, they will probably overthrow him. And they'll be off our backs. So we'll have $8 billion.
Let him try to figure out what's going on.
Exactly.
You are in the Yuletide spirit, aren't you?
Oh, I'm just...
How about Alexander Haig?
Alexander Haig, I have listened to, or tried to listen to now, ever since he's been Secretary of State. Since I have not understood a word that he has said, I am sending him to Berlitz to learn English. After that, we will know what's really there or not.
They call it, is it Haigese or Haigisms that they have coined now? I guess the syntax does get a little...
Well, it's beyond English. It's beyond Eisenhower, because Eisenhower at least was deliberately misleading, you know, and he always had a plan, but this man just seems, and he looks at you, you know, and it begins that stare. I get
prioritize. Want to prioritize things.
Prioritize, yeah, and rushes into the room. I wouldn't like to be George Bush if anything, heaven help us, should ever happen to Ron. George Bush might find a little shoot-up in the Oval Office as Alexander the Great strides forward to his destiny.
How about, let's take somebody out of politics. Brooke Shields.
Brooke Shields? I'd give the kid a dress.
Get her out of those jeans. Yeah. I saw you on a show one night. It was on, I don't know where it was done from. The fellow was rather perceptive interview. And it was a long show, and I enjoyed it. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It was on
CBS channel, something called Signature. It's cable television.
Yeah, a good show. And he was discussing your possible entry into the race for Senator of California. And he kept saying, now, Gore, are you really serious? Now, I know you fairly well. We've spent a little time together. Are you serious, or are you just trying to create a little holiday diversion for people and make it interesting, or what?
Well, I think I'm very serious about the difference between Jerry Brown and me is that he's interested in elections, and I'm interested in politics. And in bad times, I mean, this is his art form, is running for office. That's why I recommended the Harold Stassen story. He just runs all the time. You sort of see Jerry must hang in a closet in a blue suit. They take him out in the morning. Hi, I'm Jerry Brown. I'm running for president or governor or senator. I don't suppose this is good for character. I don't think he gets a chance to think much. So I've been going around the state talking about issues, talking about the real subjects like why it is that we're always at war with somebody. Where did this enemy of the week come from? It's Nicaragua this week. It was Salvador the week before. We were going to overthrow Gaddafi at one point, and the CIA said, no, it wasn't Libya, it was Mauritania. And the Mauritanians then got on the phone, why are you trying to overthrow us, you know? Where does this come from? And it comes from something very simple that you saw in Reagan's budget. He said over the next 5 years, we're going to spend $1.5 trillion on defense.
That's 1,000 billion, right?
That's 1,000 billion. It is more money. Now, where's the war? Who's the enemy? they have to keep looking around. So they talk about the vulnerability window. I love that. Even Reagan broke himself up on that one. He was giving one of his interviews, and he said, well, I mean, the Russians are ahead of us here and there, and then there's this vulnerability window, and even he broke up on it and started to chuckle at his own cue cards.
The window of vulnerability.
Anyway, I would like to see the money that goes to defense. We have quite enough. We are way ahead of the Russians in most things. I'd like to see at least half of that budget go domestically toward education, toward maintaining the cities, toward the people, and forget this war against everybody.
It never seems to happen, does it? Well, you say that. Yeah. And you know as well as I do, if you bring that argument up with political figures, they will say, but you see, if we are not equipped and if we don't have the MX missile system, our missiles are vulnerable and we would not survive a first strike. Now, you don't want us to be second best, do you? That's the stock answer.
Well, they do that, and then they come up with something like the AWACS deal. Everybody was very worried, is this anti-Israel or pro-Israel or pro-Arab, or is this going to help us in the oil fields? There was one reason for that, $8.5 billion to Boeing. It was very, very simple. This was just a transfer of money.
Yeah.
And it is not for our defense. Any time a politician tells you the Russians are coming, just hang on to your wallet, because it means there's another raid on the Treasury.
We'll be right back. We are back, and I wish we had... You're going to be here now for a few weeks, over the holidays?
I'm here over the holidays and indefinitely.
I hope you'll come back with us soon when we have a little more time and get into some of these things, because I really want to find out if you're really going to run.
You will find out then.
Have a nice night. Thank you.